All right. How's everyone doing? Good naman? And our panelists, kamusta?
Very good, very good.
Please say hi to everybody. And can I ask all of you, all three of you, to give us a quick background about what you guys do?
Okay, hello everybody. Good morning. I hope mga morning persons tayo, no? Because we are here very early in the morning. But I'm Bianca Laraniaga. I am the CEO and co-founder of Wonder Sky. So Wonder Sky is a smart travel essentials brand designed for every kind of journey. We've been in the market for 10 years already. And yeah, I'm also the CEO and co-founder of Tropical Nomad and coming soon Hias. Those are all retail shops.
Thank you, Bianca. Ross?
Good morning, everyone. Kung hindi kayo morning person, I hope you've had your coffee, like me. I am Ross. I am the chief extractor of coffee at Commune and an avid customer of Wonder Sky. And I'm here today to make chika with everyone. So looking forward to it.
Fantastic. And JP, good morning.
Yes, hello, good morning to everyone. I am JP Morales po. I'm in the business of milk tea po, Right Tea, since 2018. And I have another business din po. It's Choco Monkey. If you love Belgian chocolate drinks po, you should try Choco Monkey. And of course po, latest venture ko rin po is Shepherd IT Corporation din po. So medyo marami negosyo po.
And I also understand, JP, that you're handling an organization. But before we get there, I'd like to know, JP, paano nagsimula ang mga negosyo that you have right now?
Okay, so that's a very good question, no, Sir Georgian. Siguro daling ko po kayo mga 2016 po, no, nung unang beses ako nagnegosyo. That time po, I was a student pa, estudyante pa po ako noon. So I was taking up entrepreneurship. So part ng course namin is magtayo ng sarili naming negosyo. During that time po, problema ko was capital. So syempre, estudyante, saan naman kukuha to ng capital? So nangutang po ko sa kamag-anak, to my parents, sa akin lola. Then na-establish ko yung first business ko, yung Taiyaki Ice Cream. Maganda siya, napa-franchise ko po siya actually, but nung time po na yun, hindi ko pa alam yung word na franchise. Oo lang po ko ng oo. Kasi naniniwala po ba kayo pag negosyante, pag may opportunity, sagot natin oo, yes?
Tama.
Yes. Tama po. So bata pa lang, oo na kagad ang sagot ko. Pero yung pala, costly mistake pala dahil hindi ko alam yung ins and outs. So parang naging tuition fee, kumbaga, itong una kong negosyo. Then later on po, nagkaroon na ng sakit. Yung mother ko po, no, nagkaroon siya ng stage 4 pancreatic cancer. And that time po, no, so parang devastated kami. And then financially, na-drain din kami. Imagine po, every week, every month na sa hospital po kami. So para naging bahay na po namin yung hospital. Then after 7 months po, no, so namatay po siya dahil because of the cancer. Then sabi ko that time, paano kami babawi? There were 2 options actually nilatag sa akin ng father ko. Number 1, mag-abroad kami. Doon na kami tumira. Or the other one is to stay here and magtrabaho. Humanap ako ng papasukan dahil yung dati pong pinapasukan ng mother ko, nag-offer po sa akin ng job position ko na po yung dating trabaho ng mother ko. But sabi ko parang undecided ako. So nagdasal po ako. Sabi ko humingi ako ng guidance. Lord, bigyan niyo ako ng guidance. Medyo at the moment of life ako na naliligaw ako. Then dumating po, may nag-message sa akin. Actually, nandito si Sir George. Sabi niya, kamusta ka my friend? Bisita ka. So nagkwentuhan kami ni Sir George. Then sabi niya, anong gagawin mo? How will you bounce back? Sabi ko, gusto ko magtayo ng another concept, pero milk tea naman. Pero anong differentiator ng milk tea? So sabi ko, kailangan healthy milk tea ito, yung freshly brewed tea, dahil meron to yung anti-cancer din. So doon po nag-start yung Right Tea na business po, and we were able to open it into franchising at the same year in 2018 din po. Then yun na, that's the start of my franchising history na po.
JP, you mentioned a couple of things I'd like to pick up on. First, yung pain point mo was yung nangyari dun sa mom mo. Sabi mo na the Right Tea brand was born because you have that idea and you have that pain, ano? Kaya kailangan anti-cancer yung gagawin mo.
Yes.
Tama ba? So talk to us about the conceptualization stage.
Yes, actually nung kino-conceptualize namin yung Right Tea Milk Tea, sabi namin, pag ginamit ba yung freshly brewed tea leaves, ano bang benefits nito sa katawan? So that's number 1, may antioxidants, anti-cancer. Then, ginamitan po namin siya ng fresh milk. Karamihan po kasi sa milk tea ginagamit is yung non-dairy creamer, which is long-term use, masama po sa heart natin. So that's where we decided na let's use fresh milk para naman rich in calcium din. So pag ininom mo talaga siya, puro health benefits. Kaya tinawag po namin siyang Right Tea because it's the right tea for you.
Ang ganda nun. Palakpakan naman natin si JP. Very inspiring your story. And I always like the concepts of starting with your hugot, your pain point. Now, Ross, talk to us about your process. Paano na-create ang commune? May hugot din ba? Talk to us about it, please.
Yung hugot niya is mahilig lang ako magkape. Okay, I've actually been in coffee for more than half my life. So my aunt, Chitwan, who's also a friend of Sir George, has always been in coffee. So she was my mentor. I started working with her when I graduated. So that was my first job. I was doing marketing for a coffee company. And then later on, I left the country. I worked in Shanghai for a bit, for like about 4 years, also with the same coffee company, no? And then I came back home, and when I came back home, parang napagod ako sa food and beverage industry. Alam niyo yan. It's long hours, you're always on your feet, you're always smiling. And so I went into digital marketing. I'm also a social media strategist. I worked with an advertising agency, and then this was in the early days when people didn't think you could actually use social media apps for business, to promote business, no? And I did that for a couple of years until there was a space that opened up. My brother had a concept in that space because I'm from a family of entrepreneurs. So I think yun yung one of the main inspirations also because in our family, yung dream is always to have our own business. Yun yung exposure namin. So my brother had a business in this spot. He was giving up the spot and he said, alam mo, ang ganda ng location. Di ba you wanted to open a coffee shop? Why don't you take it na? Because the moment I let this go, someone's gonna take this. At that time, I was in a very comfortable advertising agency job. Okay? And I was literally being paid to be on Facebook and think of how to use Facebook to promote business. This was really, before the time pa na may mga games sa Facebook. Alam niyo yan. So it was really sort of like a dream job, and people were like, "Huh, you get paid to do this?" Okay? But then, naisip ko, it was really always my dream to start my own business. And if I was going to wait for the perfect time to do it, parang it might not come. Kailan pa ba yung perfect time, di ba? So I figured, okay, kinda nothing to lose kasi wala pa naman akong nagagawa, di ba? So I'm like, okay, let's just bite the bullet and take this spot. So this was actually the first spot of commune here in Salcedo Village. So we used to be on De La Costa and Valero. And that's how commune started. So this was in 2013. And when I was conceptualizing what I would do, of course, I knew it was going to be coffee already. I was away from the coffee business for a couple of years at that time, and na-miss ko na siya. For one, I miss not having to shell out cash every time o order ako ng kape. Perk of a coffee business yan. Yung may source ako, constant source ako ng coffee. That's part of my salary. And I also wanted to start a coffee business that would really promote Philippine coffee. So this was 11 years ago when people actually thought Philippine coffee was substandard. So parang pag coffee ang isipin. So at that time, 2013, context lang ng konti, sanay na tayo sa international coffee chains, but we weren't that used to small independent coffee shops like you see now. So at that time, we were probably the second or third independent Filipino coffee brand that started that was going into specialty coffee. But of all the specialty coffee brands, no one was carrying Philippine coffee. So I set forth to start a brand that would only serve locally sourced coffee. And at that time, people were like, coffee snob ka, di ba? Do you drink Philippine coffee? I only serve Philippine coffee. And no, I'm not a coffee snob. But I was there what we wanted to do was really tell people that we had good Philippine coffee.
Agree.
If you know where to find it.
Certain.
And if you process it properly, prepare it properly, then it's going to be very good coffee. And that's pretty much how Commune started. It's been 11 years. We're turning 12. We have since moved to Poblacion where we've been for the past 9 years. And now people ask, how do you feel that all the coffee shops are serving Filipino coffee? And I'm like, perfect, because that's what we were setting out to do. And maybe we were instrumental in helping people know that we have good Philippine coffee.
And what you did, Ross, you're like a game changer here. And you said you're turning 12, di ba, Ross? Now, you mentioned about perfect time. After being in the business for 11 years, can you say now that there is such thing as a perfect time to start a business?
Wala. The only perfect time, kind of perfect time, is when you finally gather up enough courage to say, sige na nga, gagawin ko na to. And you decide that, okay, paninindigan ko na to. Because if you sort of wait for everything, and I say everything to fall into place, na okay na yung mindset ko, okay na yung finances ko, okay na yung buong pamilya ko, wala nang gugulo sa akin, 100%, lalagay ko. Hindi naman mangyayari yun eh. So it's really when you decide that you have the emotional, mental, all sorts of bandwidth, and you're like, sige na, let's go for it. Because I think entrepreneurs are big risk takers. It's sort of a gamble, if you think about it. Also, sort of kabaliwan, di ba? And there will really just be a time when you're like, sige, go na natin.
I like that, yung kabaliwan. And let's talk about kabaliwan. Because you came from a family of entrepreneurs, Ross, di ba? Is it high pressure ba, knowing na a lot of people, particularly your aunt, is really, she has a big name in the coffee industry. Is that giving you pressure or inspiration?
Well, it could be both. It's high pressure, but I guess in my case, it was good pressure because there are times you really need that push na parang china-challenge ka. Ano ba? Kaya mo ba? Hindi mo ba kaya? Tutuloy mo ba to? Hindi mo ba ito tutuloy? So that's the kind of pressure that I face. But it's also a very good position of privilege to be surrounded by entrepreneurs kasi lagi kang may magpagtatanungan. There might be some people in the room na kayo pa lang yung entrepreneur sa family nyo and they all don't understand what you're doing, di ba? And that's an added challenge. I guess yun na yung privilege sa akin na baliw din silang lahat. So, and the things that I'm encountering, they've encountered before. So it's a good place for advice.
And I love that. We all get our inspiration mostly from our family first. And you're on the right spot. Thank you. Turning 12. And now let's go to Bianca. Bianca, we all want to travel. Everybody wants to travel because of particularly mental health, di ba? It's one source for us to really just bounce back. Tell us about your journey.
Okay. For Wonder Sky naman, siguro ako muna. I've always had that entrepreneurial mindset ever since I was little. Kasi same with Rosa, yung parents ko kasi, I'm also surrounded by entrepreneurs. So, bata pa lang, may paupahan yung parents ko. Nagbebenta na ako ng chichirya sa mga nangungupahan sa kanila. So, bibili ako sa kanto, 5 pesos, bibenta ko 7 pesos. As simple as that. Through college, I was selling bags also. Nag-fish balls din ako, rolling fish balls. From 1, it grew to maybe 6 sa mga barangays. And I was around siguro 17. Hanggat, I went also to Singapore. Nag-work din ako doon ng 2 years. And then when I came back from Singapore to the Philippines, sabi ko, gusto ko na mag-business. So yung husband ko, then boyfriend, he was into, well, he still is, he's into kitchen equipment. So sabi niya, halika, mag-kitchen equipments na lang tayo. Kasi yun naman yung alam ko. Ako kasi, at that time, nagpe-pray lang ako kasi ko, Lord, gusto ko ng idea. Alam ko lang talaga na gusto ko ng business pero wala akong idea. Nagpe-pray lang ako always. So sabi ng husband ko, halika, sumama ka sa akin. Meron akong expo sa Germany. Sama ka sa akin. Mag-ano na lang tayo, mag-import na lang tayo ng kitchen equipments. So sabi ko, sige, yun na lang, marunong ka naman. Ako na bahala dyan sa operations and all. So we went to Germany, but ang stop namin on Spain. So, we arrived to Spain and then nawala yung luggage niya. So, sabi namin, buti na lang luggage yung nawala kasi pag luggage ko, syempre, paano yung mga OOTD natin, di ba?
So, that's the main hugot there.
Yes, oo. So, buti na lang, it's a good airline. So, nabigyan naman siya ng parang per day. So, it got lost for 3 days. 3 days siyang walang luggage. And then, nung naibalik na sa amin yung luggage, na-realize namin na hindi siya nawala. It got picked up by somebody who has a similar luggage. And during that time, in 2014, puro itim lang, di ba? Yung mga luggage, puro itim, puro blue, very safe, di ba? Isa lang yung itsura ng mga luggage. And then in passing, sabi ko, you know what? Sobrang hassle nito. Somebody has to do something about this. But then we went on, we went to the expo of kitchen equipments, and then there's a wing there na parang maliit na bazaar. And then there's, I would say, siguro Dutch brand who's selling luggage covers. Sabi ko, uy, ang galing nito. I want to bring this to the Philippines. So we started talking to them kasi sabi ko, if may luggage cover yung luggage mo, hindi yan mawawala kasi you'll be unique. You'll be able to identify it right away. But then in the course of our conversation with the owners, ang dami naming gustong i-improve. We want to make the material thicker. We want to improve the zipper.
So nag-start ka pa lang, there's innovation ideas
Yes,
already.
yes.
Alright.
We have, sabi ko, yung mga designs nyo, hindi papatok sa market, can we change it? And then of course, everything is a no. We just have to import it. So sabi ko, let's just make our own brand. So doon nag-start yon. Yung parang wala, during that time, wala pang luggage covers in the Philippines. It's unheard of. And then sabi ko, it's good if we can promote Filipino artists. Ang problema lang doon, if you really create a product from scratch, or like you choose the material, yung weight nun, the designs, the zippers, the packaging, you have to face a very high MOQ, or what we call a minimum order quantity.
Yes.
So sobrang in the thousands per size, per design. But then siguro we really believed in the product, and I knew that there's nothing in the market. So sabi ko, sige, let's jump into the void. Itawid natin to. And then, sabi ko rin, we have to find distribution points kung saan natin to pwede ibenta. Kasi, during that time, feeling ko, hindi ko mabibenta yung luggage covers using online lang. Feeling ko parang, in 2010, hindi pa talagang savvy yung mga Filipinos in ordering online. There's trust issues. Di ba? Wala pang COD nun. Ang hirap pa mag-order. So sabi ko, I really believe in the product, but the quantity is so high, I have to find somebody who will sell this. So, ang ginawa namin nun, kumatok kami sa mga big stores. So, ang una namin kinatok yung Primer Group, the Travel Club. Kasi saan ka ba bibili ng travel accessories? Department stores or travel club, Rustans, ganyan, SM department store. So yun, dun talaga, wala pa akong concept, wala pa akong produktong hawak.
Kumakatok ka na.
Yes. Gumawa lang ako ng deck. Ang hawak ko lang samples. Samples from the manufacturers. Kumakatok na ako sa kanila. Nagpe-present na ako. But I got a lot of no's.
Certain. And I'm really excited with your nose. And we'll get into that later on. Bianca, you prayed a lot for a certain idea to land on your lap. And it did. Paano mo na-feel or paano mo nalaman na ito na yung answer ni Lord sa'yo?
Alam mo, it's really about, hindi ko rin alam. Siguro it's about just really knowing, di ba? Parang sa mga may asawa dito or like pag nahanap mo ng the one, parang hindi, ito na yun.
Talaga ba yan?
Kahit na sabihin ng ibang tao na parang hindi dapat siya para sa'yo, kahit anong sabihin nila, ito na yun. Yun lang talagang na-feel ko din. Na parang, ito na yun. Parang sumugal tayo, okay to. Kasi there's nothing in the market yet. Ang nangyari kasi sa akin, it's the product that came to me. It's the product that came to me and my husband. It's not the target market.
You know, Bianca, I felt that your gut feeling told you so, na this is the answered prayer. That's why
Yes.
you kept pushing. And how
Yes.
long has it been now?
It's been 10 years.
Imagine
Yes.
that,
Oo.
10 years. And Bianca, tell us, apart from knocking on the big names doors, what's your biggest challenge to date in running your business?
I think all of us agree, no, that it was during the pandemic. It was such a challenging time.
Oh, yeah.
Oo. Especially for a travel brand, no? We were deemed non-essential. So para sinabihin nila na non-essential ang travel, zero ang sales talaga nun. So dun lumalabas yung pagiging entrepreneurial, pagiging entrepreneur mo. Having entrepreneurial mindset. Do you listen to that voice? Do you stop? Do you wait for the pandemic to happen? Or do you tell yourself, hindi, I have mouths to feed. During that time, we had 60 employees. We had to cut it to 15 because we had to. Sarado lahat ng tindahan, walang nagta-travel. But then me and my husband, we took time. Of course, nasad kami. Pero we said, okay, what are we gonna do? we have to be proactive. And what we did was we turned our luggage covers into face masks. So
Nice.
yes.
Face masks.
Yes.
Right.
So we are also the first brand who did that. So we did a lot of testing. We turned our luggage covers into face masks. Kami yung unang brand na may design yung face masks kasi lahat it's the K9 ba yun? K20. K94, K9, aso pala yun. Aso pala yun.
Nagets naman natin.
Oo nga, nagets naman nating lahat. Ayun, it's just continuous innovation and never stopping. Kasi had we stopped, wala na kami ngayon.
Was there a time, Bianca, na you thought of closing your business? Kasi syempre during the pandemic, perhaps.
No, honestly, no. We knew that it was gonna pass. It's a hard time. In-acknowledge namin yun na, okay, mahirap itong season na to. Pero ang lagi ko kasing iniisip, we all go through different seasons. Tayong entrepreneurs, we all go through different seasons. And dapat alam natin, and we have to acknowledge kung ano yung season na meron tayo currently. There is a season for planting. There is a season for expansion. There is a season for investing, for learning. There is a season for just stepping back and really, checking kung ano nga bang nangyayari dito sa business ko. What can I do moving forward?
And your story is really inspirational in a way that I myself is really listening intently to what you're saying, that there's a season for everything. And for me, just before I move on to Ross, I'm picking up that we have to acknowledge whatever phase your business's face is, you have to acknowledge it. And thank you for that, Bianca. Palakpakan naman natin si Bianca. And before we go to Ross, I want to check. Are you all doing great? We're learning? Feeling inspired? Okay, that's good. Ross, ano ang pinakamalaking dagok na dumating sa brand ng Commune?
Okay, I mentioned earlier we started in Salcedo Village in 2013. Our lease, it was initially a 2-year lease kasi nga sabi ko, sige, let's try it lang. But then, nung magsa-second year na, they said, gigibain yung building. Okay, so akala ko yun yung biggest challenge namin, di ba? At that time, it was. So that's why we moved to Poblacion. And I consider that one of the biggest challenges because, una, it was really hard to find a new location, especially that we wanted to stay in Makati. Because also, initially we wanted to stay in Salcedo, kaya lang, wow, yung prices in 2 years, astronomical, bidding for spaces, okay? We were thinking, saan tayo pwede lumipat? Then naisip ko, parang my friends were all going to Poblacion. And we went to Poblacion and I'm like, may magkakape ba dito? Parang everything starts at 5 p.m. I mean, walang buhay ito sa umaga. Ibang anyo niya sa umaga, di ba? So that was one thing. And then when we did decide na, sige, let's try Poblacion, let's see. Magsasara na yung building that we were in. The last day I remember was in June, and we only signed the lease in May. So we were gonna be out of commission for 3 whole months.
Oh my.
With no physical store to speak of, and nothing. So we were like, okay, baka isipin ng tao, nagsara na talaga tayo for good, right? And I have to admit, before we found that space, we were moving and everything, we were only 2 years into the business, all the growing pains and everything, sinabi ko noon, baka ito na yung chance na exit. Ito na yung graceful exit ko kasi parang no choice eh. Sasara yung building, anong gagawin ko, right?
I want to stop you there.
Yeah.
Because I'm picking up, that's really a phase of your entrep life na mahirap. Kasi 2 years in the business, of course, maraming drama for sure. Tapos brick and mortar, na-mention mo nga, mahal yung mga spaces. Ano yung point na in your entrep life that you said, I'll still push with this?
Wala, pride ko ata.
And that's good. If it's really that.
Of course, I mean, there were things saying that it was worth pushing. Like, the first 2 years for especially a brick and mortar business is really getting people through the door. The first few weeks, okay yan. Kasi parang everyone's excited. Oy, ano to? The hardest is getting them back in. Right? So the first 2 years, that was really challenging. Pero nakikita naman, I mean, the sales figures and everything, may namang increase kahit incremental. And in the food business, you know that it's about mga 3 years before you start really feeling like you're making a profit, right? Then it was a bit too soon for me to give up. There were signs na may potential naman yung brand, yung products namin. And really, the last straw was, kaya ko pa ba? There are points where I'm like, kung ginagawa sa sarili ko to, I could still be, I mean, if you have a full-time corporate job and you're in a pretty good position, it gets very comfortable. You know how much you're gonna get every month. You don't have to think about your mga hulog and everything. Even if you manage a team of people, you don't have to think about their HR concerns because there's a department for that.
I feel you.
Diba? So I'm like, why am I here? I could go back to corporate. And people think being an entrepreneur and especially owning a coffee shop, they think it's so glamorous. Nagkakape ka lang doon araw-araw. But they don't realize you don't make as much as you do in your corporate job, right? So it was really that decision na, game pa ba? But I guess it was really my pride na inumpisahan ko to and I'm just gonna let it slide, diba? So we did find a location where for 3 months. Buti na lang, even at the start, and because of my background in social media, we really kept it up on social media. We created this whole campaign and hype na parang, hala, magsasara na si Commune. And bigla, oops, lilipat lang kami. But 3 months nyo kaming di makikita. And, we made people guess where we were moving, etc. So that was the first big hurdle. And after we survived that, and medyo pumipick up naman sa Commune, of course, the next hurdle is, okay, kumikita ka na at this level, pero hindi pwedeng this level lang all the time, di ba? So how do you make it increase and everything? And then finally, in 2019, wow, things were falling in place. Dami naming events, tumataas yung foot traffic namin, better transaction count, better sales. I think we're finally getting somewhere in 2019. First time namin magpa-outing na
Sa staff.
as in, nag-overnight kami somewhere. So talagang feel namin, lumalaki na tayo, guys! Boom! COVID.
Kinakabahan nga ako habang kinukwento mo eh.
So we were really just starting to feel like, yeah, I think we know what we're doing. We're doing the right thing. And then biglang, COVID. So yeah, I guess to this day, ito yung biggest challenge for all of us. And sana, yun na lang yung, we all feel like if you survive that, anything after that might be easier. Let's hope.
Right.
So yun. And during the pandemic, buti na lang, we're still able to operate for pickups and everything. Buti na lang in 2018, we started roasting our coffee in-house. So before the pandemic, people loved coffee, but they weren't buying coffee beans for the home. Medyo nawala yung home coffee consumption because there's so many coffee shops, right? When you guys go for coffee, it means sa labas tayo magkakape. We already started roasting in-house for our own use and we were selling our beans. It was slow. Pero nung pandemic, ito na yung chance namin. This is the product that we could constantly sell. And blessing in disguise that we were already in Poblacion in a standalone space. Because if we were in a building, we couldn't have put in a roaster.
Right.
Not easily. We probably couldn't have opened. We couldn't let people stay in. We had a team that was staying inside the shop. Dun sila nakatira nung COVID. So there were certain things na in hindsight, blessing in disguise pala.
Exactly.
Buti na lang.
And I like that. Mamaya babalikan ko, Ross, yung buti na lang tsaka blessing in disguise. Because sa isang negosyante, marami tayo niyan. We're not just aware of them. But sa'yo, it seems like buti na lang nandyan sila. So babalikan natin yan. JP, tell us about your biggest struggle as a negosyante.
Well, siguro, medyo marami-rami to na Sir Jordan. Siguro simulan ko muna nung binuksan ko yung righty, then yung kasunod na pondo. Yun saan nakukuha ng pondo. Yun naman talaga ang basic problem natin lahat ng mga negosyante. Saan tayo kukuha ng pondo na to? Imagine, ang bank account lang po namin nun was 10,000 pesos. I kid you not, it's 10,000 pesos na lang natitira po sa amin nun. So alam niyo po, there's these people na may tutulong pala sa'yo. If you pitch your concept, if you show them your concept, someone will trust you na mag-i-invest sa'yo. So doon po nagsimula. So na-encounter na namin na, na-solve na namin rather yung problem. But nagsunod-sunod na, dumami na yung franchisee namin. Pandemic came. Ayan na, pandemic din po no, in 2020. Alam niyo po, that time we were managing 40 franchisees po, which is nagsara po yun during the pandemic dahil dineclare na bawal mag-operate po.
Right.
Imagine na lang po, you are calling to 40 people na nagre-reklamo, paano yung pera namin? Paano kami dyan? Paano kami kikita? Meron pa kami franchisee 1 week pa lang kabubukas before the announcement of the lockdown. So that was a terrible nightmare for us po. No? So doon ko natutunan na maging human. Kasi you have to understand din yung mga franchisees mo. Because they trusted your brand. They trusted you. So, ikaw bilang the owner of the business, you have to think, paano mo sila matutulungan eh. Hindi na yung paano ka kikita, paano mo na sila tutulungan. Dahil pag natulungan mo sila, kikita rin sila eventually. So that time po, no, so we had to think of different strategies and ways on how to help yung mga franchisee namin. Yung mga nasa mall, pwede na kayo mag-operate outside mall. Kung meron kayong province, pwede nyo nandalin sa probinsya ang inyong outlet. Supposedly, we would charge them for the transfer of location, but we have to waive them. Kasi sabi namin, if we charge them, hirap na eh, bugbog na yung tao, sisipain mo pa, kawawa naman. Hindi tamang negosyo yun. So yun po yung mga naging ways namin on how to help them. And of course, winave namin. Marami kaming winave. Actually, halos pinamigay na namin yung mga kita namin dun sa amin negosyo. Well, eventually nakita namin na natuwa naman sila at ngayon, buhay pa rin yung mga franchisee namin. Because of them, kaya malaki ang pasalamat ko sa kanila. And many blessings din. Yung dumating, we were able to open sa Surabaya, Indonesia, sa Cebu. During the pandemic po yun. So I think it's because the way you help other people, good blessings will come to you eventually.
Babalikan ko, JP, yung story mo na initially your problem was raising your capital.
Yes.
You were young then.
Yes.
Tapos galing pa siyempre sa family concerns, di ba? You lost
Yes.
your mom. Bakit nagtiwala yung mga nagbigay ng capital sa'yo?
Well, siguro, yun din iniisip ko, bakit nagtiwala itong mga to sa akin?
So, bakit nga kaya?
Bakit nga ba? Well, siguro napansin ko lang doon, every time I show up, kung ano yung pinangako kong i-deliver, dinideliver ko sa kanila. Yun naman yan eh. Ang mga tao, pag na-deliver mo yung pinangako mo, magtitiwala yan sa'yo. And of course, yung attitude mo towards other people, I think malaking factor yun na tinitignan ng isang tao kung mag invest yan sa'yo or hindi. Yung attitude mo will reflect on how you will run the business.
So, JP, for you, how important is integrity as an entrepreneur?
Malaki po ang halaga na.
In what way, please?
Well, integrity po, no? Kasi pagka wala ka nito, parang hindi ka, syempre, maka-survive sa negosyo, no? Alam nyo, there are many instances po na matitest talaga yung integrity mo sa pagnenegosyo. It's on how you will handle certain people. Because there are some people, for example, yung employee po namin, Sir Jordan, ano? Sabi niya, Sir, magsasara ba tayo during the pandemic? Paano po yun? Yung anak ko nag-aaral po yun. Kumukuha lang po ako ng pan-tuition sa pang-araw-araw na sweldo. Imagine hearing that sa mga empleyado natin. Parang, sakit na. Sakit na. Paano mo sila tutulungan? So, ikaw bilang negosyante, gagawa ka ng paraan para tuloy-tuloy. Kasi tayo, pwede naman na natin i-close dahil maghanap tayo ng ibang way. But, gagawa ka ng paraan para matulungan mo pa rin yung empleyado mo because these are your people as well.
Thank you, JP. And totoo yan, ano, na as long as first, what I'm really getting from you is yung be human as entrepreneur. Kasi when you're already up there, medyo mahirap na yan kasi most of the time we're only looking at the numbers. Diba? Siyempre may kabuhayan din tayo. But being human, there you go. Now, in return, you got many blessings. You're even offering international brand. Diba? So thank you, JP. Bianca, balikan natin. Yung naalala ko kanina, you're down to 15 employees during the pandemic. Ngayon, you're back to...
Kasi yung promise ko before sa mga kumbaga, na let go ko na employees is to ask them back once the business is doing well. So I'm very happy to say na I've invited, I believe, maybe 5 to 10 employees back to the company. This is because also intentionally nag-scale down ako in terms of the number of employees. Balikan ko lang yung pandemic. Kasi nung pandemic, before the pandemic, we were growing very fast. Wala kaming competitors in the local market. We were the only Filipino brand in Rustan's, in Travel Club. We were available in 100 stores nationwide. And we still are. So the expansion was very, very fast, no? And bawat problema na binato sa'yo, sige, hire na tayo. Ayokong problemahin yan, hire tayo. Anong kailangan mo? Kailangan mo assistant, sige, hire tayo. So hanggat dumating din ako sa point na before the pandemic na parang, ba't ganun? Ang taas-taas ng overhead ko. Pero dahil entrepreneur ka or dahil nag-handle ka ng business, lunod ka rin naman sa day-to-day life eh. Hindi mo nakikita yung bigger picture. Diba? Nandun ka lang kung anong kailangan gawin mo ngayong araw, okay, magsasign ka, or kailangan mo magpasweldo. Pero yung bigger picture, hindi mo na yun nakikita eh. Pag you are growing fast, kumbaga. So the pandemic really allowed us din, hindi ko sinasabi na sobrang okay din yung pandemic na nangyari. Pero dahil the whole world stopped and we are forced to scale down, it allowed us and it allowed me and my husband look at the business as a whole. So sabi namin, ba't tayo may 60 na empleyado? Hindi natin kailangan yon.
Pero Bianca, kinikilig ako knowing na, maski nag-downsize ka, kinikilig ako in a way na what you're trying to share to all of us is that it tells us how grounded you are as a negosyante. It's really important. We might be thinking na from 60 down to 20, 30, but still, that's quality.
Yes.
Diba? This time you're
Yes.
focusing on quality. Tama ba?
Yes, I agree. So ngayon, I think we have around 30 employees na lang. But we are bigger than before. We are bigger than the pre-pandemic. So that really goes to show na you have to have the right people in your team. Before kasi parang, you just throw money at the problems. Parang, ayoko isipin yan. Ayoko mag-business permit. Hire tayo ng taong magpupunta sa mga, magpa-process ng business permit. Pero you really just have to hire the right people and then your business will grow. Sabi nga nila, you hire or you partner with people who are better than you. And then hindi dapat tayo matatakot doon na baka they will steal your idea. No. Because you also have something that they don't have. And that is your vision. Ikaw yung may vision for your brand. And yon, so that's what we are trying to do right now for the company. We have hired managers. Yeah, and we are bigger than pre-pandemic talaga.
And with that, I'd like to know, what do you think is your biggest learning from running this business? It's been, you said, how
10
many years?
years,
10 years
10
na, di ba?
years. Oo.
What do you think, at the top of mind, what's your biggest learning to date?
Alam mo, marami. Pero siguro what I can share is, there's really value in planning ahead. Because napagdaanan ko rin to, and I'm also a work in progress, na there are entrepreneurs who decide based on their bank balance. Di ba, marami tayo noon, di ba? Parang, uy, wala tayong benta ngayon, magsisale ako bukas. Uy, wala akong benta ngayon, hindi na ako mag-order ng next collection ko. Because you are dependent on your bank balance, kung ano yung nangyayari ngayon. That may be a good solution, like in the short term, pero hindi mo alam na in the long term, it may be damaging your brand. Hindi rin siya naaayon sa path na gusto mong tahakin. If there are bad times, kumbaga low sales, mas maganda sana if napaplan natin yun ahead and just stay the course. Talagang kapit lang. Yun naman yung meron tayo as entrepreneurs Talagang tiwala at kapit lang talaga. Yun, that's really my learning.
That's wonderful. Earlier, I was thinking, sana all, kapag may problema, pwede kang mag-hire. Kasi in most cases, yung mga negosyante pong mini-mentor namin, maski kami naman, parang yung concept mo na we mostly base our decision on the amount of money that we have. Pero majority ng mga micro and small entrepreneurs, wala po nito. So sana ganun lang kadaling mag-hire, di ba? So it's really the opposite. But you're really showing us another perspective that we have to consider. And regardless if you have money or none, it's important that you plan.
Yes. Plan ahead so that every step na tinatahak mo goes towards your vision.
Thank you. Palakpakan natin si Bianca. That's a very wonderful insight. Ross, talk to us about your biggest learning so far.
Biggest learning, naumpisahan na niya yung very HR aspect of it. And right now, we're doing sort of like a HR revitalization for commune. And we're only 20-something people. But I think one of my biggest learnings, whether it be employees or partners that you will invite into your business, or even anyone you're going to work with, it's very important to know what kind of people you want to work with, who you want to work with, okay? And I always say, look at their values. Kasi yung skills, natuturo lahat yan, napag-aaralan lahat. Minsan nga nasa YouTube lang yan. But yung ugali, yung values ng tao, that's something that, is really cultivated. Bata pa sila, wala pa kayo sa scene nangyayari na yan, But of course, for you to know kung anong values yung hinahanap nyo, dapat alam nyo rin ano yung values nyo, what you stand for, what are your non-negotiables. Napag-usapan din yung integrity, di ba? Na parang, I'm not doing anything illegal, di ba? Mga ganyang bagay. So, know your values kasi yun din yung hahanapin nyo. You want to work with people who share the same values. Hindi naman laging identical, but at least yung may aligned kayo. Kasi dun talaga, at the end of the day, lahat ng decisions, dun naman nanggagaling eh. And dun manggagaling yung conflict or dun manggagaling yung, wow, ang galing ng mga na-produce yung work and ideas, no? So that's one thing. Another thing is being very specific. Whether this is job descriptions of people you will hire or terms of agreements with your suppliers, with your partners and everything. I think that's one of the things that I had to learn the hard way, lalo na kung entrepreneur. You're juggling so many tasks. Akala mo, yung napag-usapan nyo, yun na yun, di ba? Maayos usapan natin, di ba? Umuo ka, agree ako, okay na yun na yung usapan natin. But then you realize, minsan mali yung intindi, iba yung intindi,
Right.
or nakakalimutan along the way. Or maybe ikaw din, iba din yung intindi mo sa sinasabi niya and you're expecting all these things, hindi na po-produce. So spell everything out. Have it written. Paulit nyo. Tama ba intindi mo? Ulitin nyo. Tama ba yung intindi ko? And then be very specific. Because it's time-consuming at the start. Ang sarap minsan you're making deals, right? Verbal, okay, go, tuloy-tuloy, it's walang naka-record. 2 years down the line, you're spending months fixing problems. So it's a good investment to put in the time na at the start so that you avoid problems later on. And then all these things, you check against what your goals are, what your
Right.
vision is. And that's when you check kung, ano ba, was this a good partnership? Is this employee performing well?
Gusto kong tumawid ng konti, Ross, from managing people or looking for the right people, being specific. Let's go to skills. What do you think is the importance of utilizing social media in making your business grow?
Super important. Funny because 15 years ago when I have to talk about this, I'm defending to everyone why you need social media for your business, right? I think we all know now that it's a valuable tool because it's not free marketing for you, but it's marketing that you can easily tailor fit to your budget, to your needs. I always tell people, no, pag-uusapan ka rin naman sa social media, you might as well be there. Naririnig what they're saying about your brand, seeing what the competition is doing, etc. It's a valuable tool. Just two things, no? Don't let it consume you and, it's not going to dictate what you're going to do with your business. It's a tool that you use to work for you. Okay? It's just one of the tools that you're gonna use. Second, in-establish na natin, kailangan ng negosyo nyo. As business owners, kayo pa ba yung gagawa? Sa umpisa, you wanna do everything. Because you feel it's cheaper, di ba? Sa umpisa, first year, ayaw mo mag-hire, ikaw gagawa lahat, di ba?
Agree.
Or you're like, kung ako gumawa niyan, mas magaling ako gumawa niyan. I know you. But there are things, let's say like social media, which you can actually outsource. Because, lalo na ngayon, important to be constantly posting online. And if that has to be pa on your list of what you have to do every day, is it actually worth your, i-manage nyo rin yung tasks nyo.
Thank you for sharing your insights. Palakpakan natin si Ross. And JP, going to you, I remember sabi nga ni Bianca earlier, it's important to plan. And then Ross said, it's good to be specific. Let's go to franchising.
Okay.
Because I understand that's one of your expertise. What lesson can you give our audience, other entrepreneurs, about going to franchising?
Okay, when going to franchising po, no, it's a commitment eh. It's a very good commitment with your franchisees. Parang kinasal po kayo, yung mga may asawa na dito, para po kayong kinasal ulit. Kailangan makakasama mo yun, di ba, habang buhay. Kung ano man ugali niya, good or bad, tatanggapin mo. Parang ganun po yan sa franchising. Well, siguro ang lesson dito na natutunan ko, yung acronym na ACCEPT. Spell ko lang po, that's ACCEPT. A for acknowledge. You have to acknowledge everyone. You have to acknowledge din na bilang an entrepreneur or a franchisor na hindi mo lahat alam. Dahil along the way, matututunan mo pa lang yan eh. Wala pong tao na, or negosyante rather na, alam ko na yan, alam ko na lahat sagot dyan. Wala po. Pag narinig po natin yun, mag-ingat po kayo kasi hindi niya talaga alam yun.
Sayang, may kilala pa naman ako. Next. Next.
Ayun po, so you have to acknowledge. Then C po is communicate. Kailangan marunong kayo makipag-communicate with your franchisee or even sa business partner mo or even to your employees. You communicate with them in a good way, in a nice way, kung ano yung plano ninyo para sa negosyo. If you have good communication, if you communicate it good with your franchisees or partners, madideliver yung plano ninyo, yung goal ninyo, mararating nyo yan. Then the next one, letter C, is for commit. Ayan. So we have to commit in everything that we do. Dahil pag may commitment tayo, magsa-strive hard tayo lalo. Imagine po, no, yung pagdating ng pagsubok, napupush tayo papunta sa wall, but we push ourselves harder against that wall. Dahil yun yung commitment natin, ma-achieve yung goal natin. And then the next letter, letter E, is for excel. In anything that we do, we need to excel sa lahat ng gusto po natin. Kung gusto natin marating ang goal natin. Then letter P, etong dalawang remaining letters po na to is very important. Letter P is pray, magdasal po. Alam nyo, ang pera, negosyo, nandyan lang yan. Kung para sa iyo yan, ibibigay sa iyo ni God. Sabi niya nga, in His perfect time, He will give it to you. If you pray to Him, if you ask for guidance and all. Kung may challenges, you pray. Kung maganda benta, mag-pray ka, magpasalamat ka rin. And then the next one is trust in God. You have to trust in Him dahil hindi ka niya pababayaan. Ako po noon, na-challenge yan, yung trust ko in God, yung namatay yung mother ko, and then yung nag-pandemic, so na-question lahat yan. But I binalik ko yung trust ko sa Kanya, and then sabi niya, ito, babalik ko yung blessing sa iyo. So accept. Yun po. Amen?
Thank you, Brother JP. But that's really wonderful. I particularly like the last two. You pray, and then when you pray, you just submit or trust that everything is going to happen in His perfect time. And with that, babalikan natin si Bianca. Bianca, we're talking to a lot of entrepreneurs. Yung iba wannabe entrepreneurs, yung iba struggling. Yung iba may konting mga successes na. If there's one message that you'd like to leave them, what would it be?
Siguro pwedeng two. Okay, sige. The first one is invest in yourself. Kasi alam mo, ang pagiging entrepreneur, sabi nga ni Rosa, kabaliwan siya talaga. It's a lot of push and pull with yourself, no? A lot of self-doubt, a lot of pushing yourself to do more. Para ka talagang baliw. Ngayon, masaya ka. Mamaya, kinakabahan ka. The next day, anong gagawin ko ngayon? Di mo alam gagawin mo. Tapos, bago ka matulog, ipaplan mo naman. You have to wear a lot of hats. And lahat tayo pinagdaanan yon. And the only person who can help us is ourselves. Diba? It's really good if we have mentors, if we have, yun na nga na meron tayong family of entrepreneurs whom we can really ask for help from. Pero at the end of the day, tayo lang talaga. We have to ask ourselves, what voice are we telling ourselves? Like, what voice are we using to talk to ourselves to? Ito ba yung voice na encouraging, kaya mo yan. Kaya pa natin to, go lang. O kaya, alam mo, hindi mo naman talaga dapat to gawin eh. Bakit ka ba nandito? So there's a lot of kabaliwan. Like sabi nga ni Rosa, there's really a lot of doubts. And it's up to us to invest in ourselves. Paano? By reading books, self-help books, listening to podcasts. Kasi ganun pa lang, by listening to the stories of other people. Or just reading about books about life, about overcoming challenges. It doesn't have to be about business. It will, para siyang muscle, lalakas yung loob mo, and these are the voices that will be ringing in your head. And those are the voices that we need. Because every day as entrepreneurs, ang daming doubts, ang daming outside voices, di ba? Even competition. You know, hindi lang naman ikaw yung may product na ganyan eh, di ba? And as soon as nilabas mo sa social media, maraming gagaya na, di ba? So, ano yung meron ka? What voices are in your head? So yun, very important, invest in yourself. Number 2 is, I know I said about planning, but for the times that you don't know what's on the other end, at maraming times yon, yung hindi mo alam, saan ba to tutungo? You know, di ba, pag dumadaan tayo, pag nagda-drive tayo sa isang tunnel, we don't really know what's at the end of the tunnel. Di ba? What do? We just trust the lights that's in our cars. And that's what we have to do as entrepreneurs. We just do the small, next, feasible step. Another one, the next day, small, next, feasible step. And then at the end of the day, ay, nandito na pala tayo. We're here na at the end of the tunnel. So yun lang. And also, ang dami ko palang sinasabi, consistency din. Kasi everyone can start a business, ha? Everyone can open a social media page, be an entrepreneur. Di ba nga sabi nila ngayon, it's just, the word is very, it's being taken lightly already. But what do you have? Ang maipapayo ko is be consistent. Because the labanan now is not when you start, it's gaano katatagal. Pag nag-open ka ba ng business ngayon, the next problem, give up ka na. Diba? So gaano ka? Longevity. Yes, competitions will come. Problems will come. It's okay. I'm in this for the long term. So yun.
Thank you. Palakpakan natin si Bianca. My favorite, Bianca, is the inner scripting. So I always wanted to talk to myself and assess things with myself. It's that important. Kasi yung ating core values in play kapag ganon. Again, thank you, Bianca, for sharing your experiences and inspiration to all of us. Punta tayo ngayon kay Ross. Ross, alam mo, marami pa rin, even to this date, ang dami pa rin gustong pasukin yung saturated market ng coffee shops, di ba? Even roasting coffees. What's your message to those wannabes?
Wow naman! Go lang. Okay. I have to agree with that, no? Na ang labanan talaga is really in how you can sustain the business. You're right. It's so easy to start a business now, lalo na if you just want to go purely online. Ang dali umpisahan. Start ka lang page, post ka lang dyan. But the real test is how you can sustain that business. I actually do classes on how to start a coffee business. And people are like, why do you teach people? Carry lang. Because nga, madali. Sige, sa umpisa, gusto nyo ba talaga gawin to? And I tell them that when I do the class, no? Because as I said earlier, lalo na in coffee, people think it's so glamorous. A lot of people who attend my classes are from other high-stress jobs. Professionals, lawyers, doctors, ganyan, thinking, it's so stressful, bubukas na lang ako ng coffee shop. Kala nyo, papakit lang kami dyan drinking coffee, hindi nyo nakikita what happens behind sa opisina na parang, saan ko kukunin yung pang, all these things. Anyway, I always tell people to differentiate between passion and purpose. And this is something that I heard from one of the people who enrolled in my class. And I always ask them to introduce themselves. No? Sabi ng isa, hi, I'm from doing something very different, not also business. And then she's like, na-realize ko, yung passion pala may expiration date. Sabi ko, nga naman. Because you can be very passionate about something now, and there are things you can be very passionate about, but when there's a trial or it becomes very challenging, madali bitawan, right? Or napagod ka, pwede na bitawan. Or nabore ka, and you're on to the next thing, right? So that's one thing. But yung purpose mo is something I think na yung hugot mas malalim, right? What is your purpose? And sometimes I have to admit, when you start a business, maybe your purpose isn't that clear at the start, no? But as years into the business, it's something that becomes more clear to you. Maybe also because tumatanda ka. And then there are things that are clearer to you now. You're able to get away with all the other distractions. And parang you know what you really want to do. Okay. When I started Commune, I knew my purpose was to promote the Philippine coffee industry. That was my thing. That was also my differentiator. Maybe to this day, we are the only coffee shop that is 100% Philippine coffee. Okay? Or maybe we're one of the few that does that. So at the start, that was my purpose. My other purpose was I wanted to start a business. And yeah, maybe it's kind of selfish. It's something I needed to prove to myself. And it's something that I wanted to do. I love coffee. So I want my own coffee shop yan. And then I realized, maybe like 5-6 years into the business, the people in my team, tumatanda na sila. Magkaka-families na sila. They were having kids already. Yung isang staff namin who started as nagpapaparking lang siya sa poblasyon. Then naging staff namin siya kasi parang siya yung katiwala ng property. So when we signed the lease, sabi, okay, employee niyo na siya ngayon. He decided na okay, the next day he shows up and he decided, waiter na po ako. Okay, so train everything. Now he's a barista. Now he's on his way to be a shift leader. And when I talk to him, he's from happy-go-lucky. Kasi po yung goal ko talaga, mahiwalay yung pamilya namin from everyone else. So may sarili na kaming bahay and everything. We go, wow, serious na siya sa life. And then I realized, okay, yung purpose ko ngayon, beyond Philippine coffee, and beyond, of course, helping Filipino coffee producers and the farmers, that's why we want to promote Filipino coffee, yung employees ko. All my decisions now don't just impact a 20-something-year-old person. My decisions now impact my team and their kids and their parents and their families. Suddenly, adult na ako. I am indirectly responsible also for so many people. Why do you need to identify your purpose? Because when things get tough, when it's easier to just throw in the towel, and there are days na parang, di ba, sara ko na lang to, makakahanap naman ako ibang trabaho eh. Or ang dami-daming pwedeng gig dyan online, di ba? Why am I still doing this? When you start asking yourself that, then isipin mo, bakit ko nga ba ginawa ulit to? And then that's when your purpose becomes useful again, right? It may not be something that, I don't know, maybe it's a good thing to remind yourself every day. I'm not sure. I don't really get to do that. But when things get tough, that's what pulls me through. Buti na lang passion ko pa rin yung kape. Pero yun na nga, on hard days, di siya passion. But it's the purpose. It's the purpose that's going to pull you through.
And thank you for that, Ross. I particularly appreciate how raw you're talking real talk here. And I appreciate that. I also appreciate that you're verbalizing how empowering an entrepreneur can be if they decide to be one. Palakpakan po natin si Ross. And lastly, JP, your message para dun sa mga negosyante at gustong mas maparami pa yung kanilang mga negosyo. Kasi not everyone could get into franchising or they never thought about getting into one. So please, share your ideas and thoughts.
Yes, oo. Nung nag-decide ako nun, saan kinuha yung pera, OPM, other people's money, yung ginamit ko dun for the expansion. That's for the franchising side po, no? Pero tama sila, ma'am. Yung negosyo po kasi, madali magtayo niyan eh. Madali na yan. You can set up anything. Pero yung patagalan dyan, yan na yung next question. Pero in order for you, para tumagal lang negosyo mo, no, you need to accept failures in the business. Sa business po, hindi yan smooth running eh. Pag tinayo mo, successful ka na overnight, mayaman ka na, millionaire, bilyonaryo ka na. Wala pong ganun, hindi siya totoo. But maraming failures ka ma-encounter. Coming from me po, I failed so many times. Na bilang ko yan, maraming beses. Pero ang importante is you bounce back, tumayo ka, labanan mo yung failures na yan. Because these failures will teach you lessons para hindi mo na makommit yung the same mistake pag gumawa ka ulit ng another strategy. And of course, pag dumating yung problema sa buhay, you just have to get up, dress up, show up, and never give up. Yun po siguro yung short message ko na maipapayo sa mga negosyante natin na nandito po.
JP, dadagdagan ko kasi you're one of the young entrepreneurs that I know. Not just that, you inspire a lot of lives because of the organization that you lead currently. Ano yung tip mo to those who wants to start young?
Okay, so those who wants to start young po, no, mas maganda na simulan nyo na mas bata kayo. If I would have known na pwede ko pala simulan na at the age of 18 or 19, nagnegosyo na ako. Pero nagsimula ako, I think 20 to 23 that time. Mas marami ka palang advantage. Pag nag-fail ka, mas maraming times ka pang pwede makabangon. Mas marami ka pang matututunan. At pagka dumating ka na, let's say 30, 40, kung maaga ka nagsimula, you can retire easily. You can go abroad na, you can do whatever you want, but still maintain the business. Yun po siguro yung nakikita ko if you would have started at an early age.
And thank you for saying that, na we all should fail at one point in our lives, and the more failure that you'll have, the more chances of you becoming successful and impactful to other people. Palakpakan po natin si JP for his sharing. Siyempre, hindi ko naman kayo iiwan ng wala akong sharing para po, dahil ako ay isang negosyante din, I really want for entrepreneurs to focus on their mental health as well. That's my advocacy. We always think na ang pagiging isang negosyante ay masarap, luxurious, di ba? Na, wow, pwede kang maging public image and all that. Yes, those are probabilities. But let's not forget that you are human, you have emotions, and you have to acknowledge every emotion that you feel. Because there's no one who can be successful without being joyful. And with that, my name is Jordan Patente, the Joyful Entrepreneur. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.